Way too many business owners are choking their business and don't even realize they're doing it because they're more worried about cash, they're more worried about cash flow, they're more worried about saving money, and they allow their emotions to dictate the way that they behave in business. Not a good idea. What I find is that there are so many business owners out there who, when they start to make money, they hold on to it and they hoard it. When they hoard money, it's normally a fear response because they're afraid that the business won't grow, or they're afraid that something might change in the future and it will disturb everything. Entrepreneurs or business owners are essentially using their money, holding it and hoarding it because they think that that's going to make them feel safe. The truth is they feel unsafe, which is an emotional state. That emotional state is going to dictate and govern the way that they play business, and it's going to become a bottleneck or a glass ceiling. If you are using your emotional states as a way of navigating life, then you're already off track. But essentially what we're doing is we burn ourselves out the more emotional we are. With emotions, you can't have a high without a low. So when we're chasing excitement, when we're chasing fun, when we're chasing joy and all of these heightened emotions, we're essentially getting ready for the next crash. If we're allowing our emotions to dictate the way we behave in business, then we're using a more primitive part of our brain called the amygdala, instead of using this beautiful part of the brain that's more evolved called the prefrontal cortex or the executive center. And it's responsible for future thinking, future planning, more focus, all the things that make a business more successful. What I find is that holding on to money often stagnates the problems in a person's business. Holding on to money often creates the next glass ceiling and will cost you time, enthusiasm, and eventually money. That if you want to grow your business, you need to use money to solve the next big problem. Business solves one problem and it creates another one. Most of society think that when we solve problems, we're going to have a better life. We're going to get rid of our stress and frustration and all those emotional states. And the truth is, their emotions are essentially driving those problems because they're not investing in figuring out the next problem and solving it. The business owner's job and the entrepreneur's job is to deal with the next problem before it comes up. And especially if you're scaling, you've got staff, your job is to solve that problem, remove it so that staff can keep pushing forward. And then you think and solve the next problem. You might have team meetings, you might delegate responsibilities, all of those sort of things, but you need to be 2 steps ahead consistently. So I've worked with so many businesses over the years, especially in startup and scale. Most of the patterns that happen in business are very predictable. I spoke to Adam today, who's part of our Business Growth Odyssey. When he started, he was essentially a startup business and he hadn't even made his first $1 million. It's almost been 2 years and he's now doing about $4.5 million turnover. And he just said he had his first $1 million contract that he got in the last month, and now he's got a couple of million in the pipeline already that he'll close by the end of the year. So this is the sort of growth that can happen when you're very, very aware of what the potential problems are coming up and you can start to deal with them. If you're smart and if you're intelligent and you really want to grow a business, you have to keep thinking about the next problem that's coming up, because if not, it will create a bottleneck and it will choke the business. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.